Well, it's been a very wet October so far for some of us, but not for all of us, but especially wet across central and eastern areas of England and particularly so for eastern Scotland. And there's been more rain so far this morning across Aberdeenshire. Now, not a lot set to change as we head through the end of the month either. It's going to stay very unsettled. There'll be heavy, possibly thundery showers, longer spells of rain, particularly wet again for eastern Scotland. And if we just take a look at the rainfall accumulation chart over the next few days, you can see those bright colours start to appear again across eastern Scotland. So here we could see as much as 50 to 100 millimetres of rainfall by the time we get to Sunday, especially over the higher ground. And of course, the ground already pretty saturated. Why is this happening? Well, because low pressure is out towards the west, out towards the Atlantic, just sending those spirals of rain round and round. But it's not raining all the time. Lots of sunshine around too. Some blue sky recorded by a weather watcher here in Bournemouth earlier on.
Hello there, good afternoon to you. Well, it was a miserable start to the day. We had a lot of cloud around with a few heavy showers. Now, it won't be completely dry through this afternoon. There's still the chance of one or two showers, but overall it is going to be much brighter with decent spells of autumn sunshine.
Hello there. All very autumnal out there at the moment, thanks to low pressure, which continues to dominate our weather story. A little heads up, though, that as we head into the coming weekend, we do have a weather warning for some very heavy downpours, thundery downpours, which could put a real dampener on any plans you are making for the weekend. The worst of the weather likely through Saturday evening, clearing then during the early hours of Sunday morning.
Good evening too. Looks like waves across southern and western parts of Britain could be an issue over the next few days, and usually high tide and strong winds could lead to some coastal inundation. In fact, the end of October looks decidedly unsettled, very autumnal with some rain at times. Elsewhere, again, to repeat performance, it's sunshine, scattered showers, large waves crashing up on southern coast. Temperatures ranging from single digits in the north, 14 or 15 in the south. That's it from me, Jane.
And it's quite unsettled at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it's remaining so for the rest of this month as well. Could see some flooding across other parts of the UK, but not so much our region. Good evening to you. Yes, an unsettled theme, as Asa just said. Continuing low pressure sticking close by. Tomorrow it's a fine start, quite misty as well with lighter winds, but then sunshine and showers will get going through the afternoon.
With Halloween around the corner and the clocks going back this weekend, autumn feels very much on the way in. And since you can't have Halloween without pumpkin, Joe's gone to a pumpkin farm for tonight's look at the weather. Over to you, Joe.
Thanks, Gaval. Yes, it's been a bumper harvest for pumpkins here in the UK this year, partly due to the very wet weather we saw over the summer, allowing them to grow and grow. I'm here at Farmer Copley's in Pontefract, where they have over 400,000 pumpkins, 40 varieties, and they've grown very, very well, although apparently they've just struggled to ripen them off over the last couple of weeks because October has started on such a wet note across much of the country. And that brings me on to the rainfall chart. If we take a look at the last couple of weeks, the beginning of October for many parts of the country has been very wet. We can see those deep blue hues for eastern Scotland, eastern England, above average rainfall, more than we'd expect for this time of year. And that very saturated ground is going to see more rain over the next few days. So we have warnings in place from the Met Office. Currently, of course, we have that warning, as you can see here, for eastern Scotland, and that is valid until Sunday. Heavy spells of rain likely to cause localised flooding in that area. But as we get into the weekend, our attention shifts to the southeast of the country. There'll be some heavy showers that will merge together and could cause some localised flooding for the southeast, perhaps the London area, as we go through the first part of the weekend. Other than that, over the next couple of days, mist and fog, with some thick fog patches developing across parts of the country. Let's take a look at those details now. More rain to come for many places over the next few days, but there will also be some warm spells of sunshine in between the showers. There's certainly going to be the risk of some localised flooding where there's already been plenty of water and the ground is saturated. And fog will be an issue in quite a few spots, and that starts certainly tonight as we head through into this evening. It feels like the nights are already drawing in as we go through the next few days. And don't forget, Saturday night into Sunday morning, the clocks go back an hour. Back to you.
Joe, many thanks indeed.